So today I am going to be filming a very special video. I have been wanting to film this for so long because I've been wanting to read these books for so long, but I've saved them for this video. So we're going to be reading my Fairyloot special editions. These are the first 3 that I ever owned. So 2 of them, these 2 I did buy, and then this top one came with a subscription, which I now have. I do have more that I got from the subscription, but I haven't actually opened them yet because I'm saving them. I'll just show you them. First we have Coldwire by Gong. This came in the YA subscription box, and I have been wanting to read this for so long. It is so pretty, and it's like this futuristic book, which is one of my favorite genres to read. So that's that one. This one I just bought because I really liked the cover. This was the first special edition I ever bought in my life, and since I bought this I have been obsessed with special editions, and I'll show you guys them in more detail later. And then, oh, I forgot to say what that was. That's The Dance of Lies by Brittney. And then I got The Hurricane Wars. This one I also sort of did buy because of the cover, but also it just looks like a good fantasy book. These are the 3 books that we have to choose from. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with yet, but we'll see. I am on the wait list for other Fairyloot book boxes. Currently I only have the YA one, but I'm on the wait list for other ones as well, so I really want to get the fantasy one, but I don't know how long that's going to take. So we'll see. But these are the ones that I have for now, and like these sprayed edges, they are just so pretty. So I'm going to be reading these 3 books in this video today. I actually think they're all the first book in a series, which is really annoying, but because I'm trying to not read so many series and finish series, but that's fine because I love a good series. And this is the book that I've started reading. So it's The Coldwire by Gong. And basically this book is YA dystopian. And honestly what it's about, it's kind of hard to explain. We're following two characters, and they're both sort of in different places at the moment. They're not really connected at all, but I think they're going to be connected soon. So one person is basically what this book is about is, if you've seen that show, what's it called, Ready Player One, it's basically like that. So people can be in a virtual reality, but the virtual reality is actually the exact same as the real world, just better, and you can pretty much go anywhere. So one person she basically has just graduated from this military, and then her mission is to be in virtual reality and try and find this person that the military is looking for. And that's one girl. And then the other girl, she's also in the military, but she's currently in the real world, so she's not in the virtual reality world. And she basically got kidnapped by this anarchist, and even though the military knows that she has been captured, they want her to basically pretend she doesn't know what's going on, so they can try and get this secret program or something. Yeah, and it's something to do with the virtual world. So yeah, honestly it's a little bit confusing, But I feel like those two characters are going to meet up soon. Because they're sort of in the same place at the moment. But it's really good so far. I like the writing. The world is really cool. Honestly, that's probably the best part of this book. It's very interesting. And I've got my coffee. I bought this Frank Green cup. It's meant to be an iced coffee cup and it has like a straw holder. But I've just been using it for hot coffees at the moment because it's a bit cold. And then Scott got me this chocolate. This is my favorite kind of chocolate. Is dairy milk chocolate by Cadbury. So I think I'm going to save this though. I don't want to eat it all at once. And I'm about 200 pages in. Okay, so I'm on the home stretch now. I've only got this much left. I'm up to page 400. And so far, I'm not going to try and explain what is going on because it's just too confusing. I can't even explain it. Like, I can't put it into words. And my explanation before was terrible. So if you want to know what this book is actually about, it's probably best if you just look it up. But basically, two main characters that were four main characters. Two are together, and the other two are like together, like in the same like location and stuff. So I think one is called Kyron, and then Leah, and then the other one is called Nick and Irali. And so far, I think initially I liked Nick and Irali, like their storyline better, but now I kind of like Kyron and Leah better. Yes. So there's been a couple of plot reveals so far, and I am curious to see what will happen. Something happened that I kind of expected. I sort of saw it coming like 2/3 of the way through. Not the whole thing, obviously, just like a small hint of something. But I'm going to finish this now. Okay, so I finished the book, guys. This was so good. The ending was insane, and I think because of the ending, I'm going to be giving it 5 stars. I just loved it so much. I knew I would like it, and I saw that the next book is going to be coming out soon, and it's called Deadlock. And also, while we're on this dystopian themed book, I was going to tell you, this book always reminds me of those book nooks I see that are dystopian. And yeah, I just love the vibes, and also the characters. I really loved them. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything. So we're going to be reading the next book now. Okay, so these are the next 2 Fairyloot books that we have to read. I'm not sure which one I should read first. Scott, do you want to pick? Maybe Scott should pick. Scott, pick. Okay, he said this one. So we're going to be reading The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I have no idea how to say that. But we're going to be reading this one. Okay, so we've just come outside to read. Jinx is trying to escape as usual, and Pippa is just there. So this one is a Fairyloot one that I bought. I didn't get it on a subscription or anything, but I'm pretty sure this comes in the fantasy or maybe the adult subscription. And basically I think it's mainly fantasy with maybe a side of romance. So yeah, this one's also a series. So we've come outside for a picnic to try and chill, but these 2 dogs, you can't chill when they're around, to be honest. Mainly Jinx. So yeah. Okay, so I'm only a little bit in of The Hurricane Wars, but I thought I would just give you a breakdown of sort of what it's about. Basically, there's 2 groups fighting against each other. And the main sort of group, I guess, is the Light Weavers, but there's only one left. And she's the main character. Her name's Taliesin. And then they're sort of fighting against the people who are called Shadowforged, and those people, they are the other main character, Alaric. I'm guessing he's going to be the love interest. So he's sort of the head of that group. Well, his dad is. And then they are sort of at war, like fighting over each other. And there's also a lot of other people who have magic, so they can, like, I guess there's like rain magic, and I don't know, there's a glossary in the back that actually helps a lot. So if you're reading the physical book, definitely check the glossary. But it sort of tells you, I can't find it now. It tells you what is going on. Oh yeah. So there's light weavers, rain singers, fire dancers, wind callers, thunderstruck, enchanters. So yeah, I guess that's why it's called the Hurricane Wars. But literally in the book it is called the Hurricane War. So I guess like everyone has like a different sort of magic. And yeah, that's just the start of like what's it about. But basically the main character, Taliesin, she is the last light weaver, so she wants to try and she's sort of the last chance they have at destroying the Shadowforged people who are just like taking over all the continent. Yeah, and right now she's trying to find this thing, it's called a sever. So it's basically a, I guess, crack in the world. Not the world, but it's like a crack where there's a like breakthrough of magic, and you can use it to like build up your own magic. So you can use it as a source to strengthen yourself. So she's trying to find the last, well, not the last, but there's a couple around. But she's currently headed towards a light sever to, I guess, build up her strength to try and take over the Shadowforged. That's where we're at so far. They did meet once at the very beginning. So he's sort of trying to hunt her down to try and kill her. Yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not far in, but I really like it so far. Really good. Okay, hi guys. It has been a little bit longer, and this is probably like literally the 10th time I've said this, but this time I'm serious. I am going to finish this today. I only have literally the smallest amount left, I think less than 100 pages, and I'm still enjoying the book a lot, but I kind of got like a bit slow in the middle, like it just sort of plateaued a bit. But now it's sort of picked up a little bit. So yeah, but I've heard that the second book is better. Well, I heard that someone told me that they liked the second book more, so I'm definitely going to read the second book. Yeah, but I still really, really love this. But we'll see what happens in the end. I am curious to see what happens. I'm hoping something like crazy happens, because we haven't had like too much craziness happen. Like it's just been very like anticlimactic, I would say. Yeah, but definitely gonna finish this today. Please hold me to that. Okay, so last night I finished the Hurricane Wars. I stayed up late to finish it. I just can't believe how long it took me to read it. I don't know why, but like maybe because the storyline, like there wasn't like that much things going on. Like it was still really, really good. I'm thinking to give it a 4 stars. Like I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the writing, the characters. But I don't know, the plot just didn't have too much going on. There was like a good like overall plot, like, you know, save the world type stuff. But there wasn't really that much action. At the end, I was expecting something crazy to happen, but literally nothing happened. I mean, we did get some like love action between the two main love interests, but apart from that, literally nothing happened. And I was like so confused what was going on. But that's fine, because I still liked it, and I am still going to read the next book. And yeah. And we did get, I don't know if I mentioned this, but there was like dual point of view, but like it wasn't separated by anything specific. There was just like a small page break. So sometimes you like were like, whose view am I in? And like it was a bit confusing like that, but because usually they have whose name it is at the top, but this one they just sort of like in the middle of a chapter it will just switch point of views, but it was pretty obvious like whose point of view we were in. So yeah, I really liked it. And yeah, it's definitely a true enemies to lovers, I think, because basically Alara, he just like destroyed her Taliesin, her like main continent. And then this is not really a spoiler, this sort of happens in the first like third of the book, but they actually become engaged. So it's like a marriage of for alliance, and so it's like forced proximity, and yeah, that part of it was really good, but I feel like it could have been a little bit better. So it's definitely not a 5-star. I'd probably say 4 stars overall. Yeah, and then basically the whole book was just like them trying to get along, but there wasn't like that much like enemies to lovers. Like there was, but not a lot. But I'm hoping in the second book, I've heard the second book's better, so I'm really, really excited to read the second one. Yeah. And the next book I'll be starting, this is going to be the last book that we're going to be reading from the Fairyloot series, is Dance of Lies. So I don't know when I'm going to try and start this, because Hurricane Wars took me like so long to read, guys. It is probably like 3 or 4 weeks, which is so bad, but that's okay, because it was a good time. I've just been busy working, and you know, I got a bird, if you didn't know. I'll update you guys once I've started that one. Okay guys, I have started A Dance of Lies, which is the last Fairyloot book that we're going to be reading. I'm not sure if this is the YA one or the fantasy adult one, I'm not really sure, but it's very good so far. I am like maybe like a third of the way through, a bit more, but yeah, it's really good so far. Basically, there's a girl, her name's Vasali, and she was like a dancer for the king, but like previously, and then he randomly like imprisoned her for 2 years and like set her up for this murder and stuff. And then the book starts like when one day the king randomly decides to get her out of prison, and he gives her this like spy mission. So she is a really good dancer, but basically because she was been in prison for 2 years, like her muscles have like atrophied and stuff like that, so she can't really dance properly anymore. And he's basically saying like, you must do everything I say and go to this big dance event and spy on like all these other people, like there's other kings and stuff from the other like towns and stuff, they're gonna be there. And if she doesn't do, like if she does everything that this king says, then she'll get her freedom back. And if she like tells anyone or anything, like she's just gonna go straight back to prison. And yeah, so there's a couple of different characters. There's the evil king's brother, he's there and he seems pretty nice. So I'm not sure, I think he's gonna be the love interest, but I'm not really sure. And then there's also this other guy who's a dancer, and she's been doing dances with him as well, and he's also quite nice. So there's a lot of nice characters, but so far it's like she's basically just deceiving all of them at the moment, which is like so painful to watch, even though she doesn't want to, but she has to for her own freedom. And yeah, that's sort of where we're at so far. She's just like gets given these random tasks while she's there by this evil king, who is also at this gathering, but he's like not being like connected to her or anything. And like it could be anything, it could be like kill this person or like do this stuff. So yeah, we're just sort of seeing what's going to happen. And yeah, I'll keep reading and I'll let you guys know how it's going. But it's so good so far. I love it. And the cover is still so pretty. I just love the cover. I think that's why I got this one. This was the first ever special edition book that I got. And I got it mainly because of the cover. Okay guys, I am on the final stretch of the book. I'm going to try and finish it now. Okay, so I did finish A Dance of Lies and it was really good. I really liked it, but some of it was a little bit predictable, like at the end. But I still liked it. It was probably like a 4.5. And that is going to be the end of this video. I really liked making this style video, even though it actually took me so many weeks to film this whole thing. But yeah, it was really fun. And it made me actually read the special editions because I never actually read a special edition before. And yeah, so that concludes this vlog. I am gonna say one more thing which is not related to books or anything like that, so if you don't care, then that's fine. But if you didn't know, I have 2 dogs, and sadly Pippa, the older one, passed away, and really hard for me to talk about it, but I'll just quickly tell you what happened. So basically, she's 15 years old, she was diabetic, and her kidneys failed, and the bird's going crazy right now. And basically, we had to put her down, and it was extremely difficult. So yeah, we still have Jinx and the bird. If you haven't met the bird already, I made a small video about that. Yeah. So if you're wondering where Pippa is, that's why she's not here. And I don't really like to talk about it because I'll start crying. So yeah, but we going to be getting another dog anytime soon, even though Jinx is going to be very lonely. Not lonely, but here she is. She looks more and more like Pippa every day. She's looking at the bird right now. Yeah, so right now we're just going to be saving our money, like to try and get a house and a backyard for Jinx. And then once we get a proper backyard, we'll get Jinx another sister. But Jinx is doing okay so far. Yeah, but I think she's gonna be okay. So yes, it was very hard to edit this like vlog. I already just finished editing it. This is gonna be the final video. But Pippa was such a good dog, and we all loved her so much. Look at Jinky. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.